The Los Angeles Clippers are expecting the return of Kawhi Leonard to the floor tonight, which is definitely amazing news, but did anyone expect the Clippers to be 4 games above 500 without Leonard to start the year?
What?
Yes, the Clippers have managed to remain a competitive team despite not having their best player for the entire season thus far and losing perennial All-Star Paul George in free agency. They've managed to stay competitive by going younger at the wing and guard positions while running the offense through James Harden and building a potent defense defined by length and switchability. Let's start with the defense, where the Clippers rank 6th in the entire league in defensive rating, and they are the epitome of playing on a string, everyone on top of their man-to-man responsibilities while also being in great help position to contain dribble penetration. Take this clip from the beginning of their game against the Denver Nuggets. LA is very aware of Denver's screening actions and how they can create separation, so Harden creeps over to defend the basket and take away this cut. Of course, Jokic and Murray just flow into their usual 2-man actions, but LA ends up switching everything, which leaves the smaller Kris Dunn on Jokic. Zubac then comes over to provide help, and the rest of the Clippers guards cover the gaps in the defense. The rest of the play is just a flawless example of scramble and recover, and Dunn does an excellent job jumping this pass and getting the steal. Even when the Clippers put 2 on the ball, the defensive responsibilities are still tactical. KPJ slides over to protect the rim, and Dunn, without hesitation, sprints over to the corner to take away the short roll pass. Revamping this roster around quickness and mobility has clearly been the key to success on that end of the court. Even after the Suns swing the ball, both Terrence Mann and Norman Powell slide over to take away this closeout drive, which creates a steal. Watch Derrick Jones Jr. on this play. He does his best staying attached to Klay Thompson, but after he gets separated by a good screen, watch how Norman Powell stunts at the ball here to force Klay to pick up his dribble. This saves the possession for the Clippers, and a deflection by Harden ultimately destroys the possession here for Dallas. This time, it's Kris Dunn's turn to highlight his phenomenal on-ball D. He's matched up with SGA and does a phenomenal job flipping his hips almost like a DB in football to stay in front of Shea's drive and spin move. The ball kicks out, and again, it's Norman Powell with an excellent dig at the ball to force another steal. Also, this is a great effort from Dunn to dive for the loose ball here. Kris Dunn has been one of the 3 to 4 best guard defenders in the league this season because his motor is absolutely insane and he's always aware of the next pass the offense is looking for. There goes the cornerback instincts again to jump this pass and take it the other way for some easy offense. Here's another play of Kris Dunn diving for loose balls, and it's the excellent nail defense here that forces the turnover and is a big reason why the Clippers rank 6th in opponent field goal attempts inside the restricted area, just over 23 field goal attempts per game, which is a great number for a team that really only has one legitimate rim protector. And I can't help but emphasize how instrumental Kris Dunn is to containing drives. Attacking closeouts is one of the biggest ways teams get shots off in the paint, but watch how Dunn puts his foot in the ground and pokes the ball from Jose Alvarado and forces him into a tough contested step back. His screen navigation might be even more impressive. We talked about how Denver tried to exploit this on their opening sequence against the Clips, so the Rockets would end up trying the exact same thing to start their game against LA, but Dunn is all on top of this pass and is able to get a ridiculous steal with his long tentacle arms, and just like that, the Clippers are off and running again. Here's another example of this strong motor and side-to-side quickness. Dunn chases Herder off the DHO and then follows him on the rescreen, forcing him into an off-balance reverse layup that doesn't even hit rim. And we've seen how tough handoffs are to guard, especially from Sabonis and Herder in years past, but Dunn makes it look easy. Heck, even good defenders like Jaden McDaniels have struggled for years guarding staggered handoff actions that have only become more and more common as of late. Now watch Dunn absolutely clamp CJ McCollum on the same play, getting low to stay attached to these screens and timing the floater to absolutely inhale this shot from behind. Part of why Dunn has been all defensive caliber this season is because he does everything for this team, even switching onto bigs and boxing them out without help like he does here. Already this season, we've seen Ty Lue put a lot of trust in Dunn to switch onto the tallest of the trees like he does Wemby here. Which brings us to the next fundamental piece of this stifling defense, which has been Derrick Jones Jr., who, like Kris Dunn, has been excellent staying in front of the ball and most of all, defending without fouling. Watch how he turns his hips several times to stay in front of CJ McCollum's constant array of crossovers and spin moves, which actually save the game for the Clippers and forces a timeout. I mentioned how the Clippers guard-to-guard screen everything, and this is for two reasons. The first one is to keep Harden from being targeted, but also so that he conserves energy on that end. Modern offenses are getting away from spread pick and roll and running more away actions and cuts that mean defenses can never rest. So this helps Harden from doing less on that end, saving his energy for the offensive side of the ball. Heck, even Zubac does a decent amount of switching onto guards, which is something he struggled with in previous years, but it has worked out so far this season, which is in large part to what Jones Jr. has done at the point of attack. Jones Jr. uses his long arms to blow up handoff plays, almost like sticking his hand in a cookie jar to get steals. Good defenders use their strengths to their advantages to make plays, and Ty Lue understands that DJJ's length is what disrupts teams. Jones Jr. is responsible for guarding the kickout pass to both the wing and corner here, but with his insane wingspan, neither one of these passes is easy for Goga Bitadze to make, and Jones is able to get a deflection. And this leads us to the final and arguably most crucial piece to making this defense work, and that's Ivica Zubac. Zubac is the tower down low that protects the rim, and the Clippers will often funnel traffic in his direction, forcing teams to change the shot angle of their shots. Watch how high Desmond Bane has to get this shot off over Zubac. He takes away the easiest shot in the game, and from there, the Clippers can pounce on the expected kickout pass and turn defense into offense. Zubac has never been a prolific shot blocker. In fact, he only averages 1 block a game, but he routinely alters the shot angle of so many guards at the basket. Teams are shooting 8% worse at the rim with Zubac on the floor, which is the 7th best mark of any player in the league this season that has defended at least 5 shots inside of 6 feet. Teams often underestimate his shot blocking abilities because of this until the shot goes up. Watch how Ja Morant thinks better of challenging Big Zoo while in the air and commits a turnover. Zoo's presence is enough to even make athletic wings like Andrew Wiggins think twice, and he also has the awareness to turn around and block this layup with only a split second to think. And this split second awareness and decision making is also what makes him such a great fit next to Harden on the offensive end. Zoo is a good short roll passer that is capable of capitalizing off of Harden's creation on offense. Perhaps the thing I like the most about Zoo in this aspect is that he's patient. Watch how the Warriors take away every passing lane from Zubac here, so when he scans the floor, he decides to just finish with the left hand. To start the season, Harden and Zubac minutes have been pretty effective this year, outscoring teams by 5 points per 100. Granted, their offense hasn't been otherworldly by any means, only a 112 offensive rating, but it's enough to get them over the hump without Kawhi in the picture. Zubac doesn't have the vision to be a passing hub per se. He misses Kris Dunn on this back cut pass here, but he's the prototypical pick and roll big that has complemented Harden throughout his prime. Speaking of Harden, you didn't think I'd forget, would you? It's been interesting watching his evolution as a player since 2021. He doesn't have the explosiveness he used to that would get him past any and everybody in isolation, nor is he as good of a finisher at the rim anymore. But Harden is still one of, if not the best isolation player in the league still. He leads the league in isolation attempts per game at 8.2, with 1.8 points per possession on those actions, which is a very good number. He still has the shiftiness to get by quite a few wings too. Watch how he shakes PJ Washington out of his shoes and gets an and one floater. But at this point in his career, the best aspect of Harden's game is probably his passing and playmaking. He's still one of the best in that aspect despite his athletic decline. Watch how he manipulates Christian Braun into thinking the pass to Zubac is coming, only to fling it to Amir Coffey in the corner without looking. And this play is so impressive because a couple plays earlier, the Nuggets brought in PJ over early to completely take away the pocket pass to Zoo, so Harden throws a no-look bounce pass to Derrick Jones Jr. in the dunker spot.
You want to talk about a playmaker? That's a playmaker. He made the play.
Now, the most interesting development for the Clippers is how they've managed to make life easier for Harden on offense. Pick and roll actions have gone down league-wide, and the Clippers actually haven't been very effective in that aspect of the game this year. So, in order to free up Harden more easily, they like to run Chicago actions, which is basically a pin-down screen into a DHO, which allows Harden to get some space from his initial defender, while also gaining momentum downhill to make a play. If teams go under the screens, Harden has space to knock down pull-up threes. And if teams decide to bring a nail defender to overhelp on his drive, he could swing the ball to the opposite wing to find a cutter for an easy layup. And if teams want to play on top of Harden to take away the handoff like De'Aaron Fox does here, then the back cut is wide open for him. Again, it's very simple yet effective. The play can be run with basically any of the Clippers guards while putting less pressure on Harden to be the sole creator of everything. And this has been the most interesting development for the Clippers because even though Harden is only averaging 22 and 8, he's been one of the best offensive floor raisers this season, keeping the Clippers above water on the offensive end while the defense continues to stifle teams. And teams still treat Harden like the 2020 version of himself at times, doubling him at half court so other guys like Powell and Dunn can benefit off his attention. Powell is having a career year at 31 years old. He's shooting a career best 45% from 3 and has been the perfect complement to Harden in the backcourt, knocking down shots off the catch and pulling up off the dribble. And so, as Kawhi Leonard makes his return to the court, the Clippers could certainly emerge as a serious dark horse in the playoffs and second half of this season. Nobody thought they would be this good without Harden and losing Paul George, but in many ways, this team has been better than they were last year thanks to the offensive mastery of Harden and Powell and the stifling defense that is spearheaded by length and youth. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've made it to the end, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. In the comments, let me know what the ceiling of this Clippers team is with a healthy Kawhi Leonard in the lineup. Also, where do you see the Clippers finishing in the Western standings as we approach the second half of the season? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.